Film is a form of entertainment. In our society, film has been taken up as a cultural pastime. Many of us do not remember every scene or line, but it is the experience that stays with us that often makes us remember the film. The people who we were with, the places where we were, whether it was outside in the warm summer air, inside a chilly theater, or cuddled up on the couch on a rainy day. These experiences are what make films important to our culture, and the documentation of these experiences are equally as important.
Once upon a time, we were going to see the movie Eagle Eye. And I was going with a group of my friends from high school, and they all happened to be guys. And one of them kind of liked me, and I ended up sitting by him. And like halfway through the movie, he sends a text, and he meant to send it to one of our other friends, but he accidentally sent it to me, and it said, "Dude, should I try to hold her hand?" And it was just so funny because I got it, and I showed it to him, and I said, no, you shouldn't.
When I was 12 years old, my brother decided to go watch Silent Hill. And on this day, I wasn't feeling that well. So he forced me to go watch this movie. And as I was watching this movie, it was kind of gory, so I was sick and I didn't feel that well. And I ate a lot of popcorn and a lot of soda at the time. So at the end of the movie, there's a part where there's this little girl, or a demon, should I say. She goes in the air, and all these chains just explode out of her body and kills like 50 people. And at that moment, there was like a lot of blood, and I couldn't handle it, so I knew I was gonna throw up. So I started walking, or speed walking, out of the theater, and I threw up on the hallway. And the janitor people, they weren't so happy. And then after that, we still watched another movie. We watched Benchwarmers, and I had to live through that. And that is my story. Thank you.
So one time, I was at a movie theater with a friend of mine, and we were watching Indiana Jones, the newest one, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And we were sitting there, and it was at the part where the ants are crawling all over the people, and they're huge ants, and it's really gross. And so I was sitting next to this friend of mine, and I started tickling her as if there were ants crawling on her, and she freaked out, jumped up out of her seat, and ran out of the movie theater.
Since I was a little bitty boy, I used to love going to the movies and loved listening to soundtracks and such. And I thought for the longest time that that is what I wanted to do for my life, was to write music for film. As I got into the music program, I decided that my passions took me elsewhere, but the journey was really interesting. I remember that I always enjoyed making films with my friends, and on one occasion we were making a little short trailer type thing. I had come down from my parents' house about an hour to a friend of mine who was going to make the video with me, and I was feeling fine at the beginning of the day, but it was February, and to get the look of the film that I was being an actor in, they needed me to be in short sleeves, and so it was really cold, and I pushed myself and I threw myself out there, exerting everything I had to this little short film. By the end of the day, I was so sick that I couldn't walk. That I literally had to have my parents come down and pick me up and drive both cars back so that I could get home and rest, because I couldn't function at all. But even with that crazy, absolutely absurd amount of exertion that I did, I loved the end product. I loved the process. And now that I get the chance to work in sound for film, recording and post-production, I get to spend lots more time on set, and it's such a blessing, such a wonderful experience for me to get to do something that I love to do, be around people that are like-minded, that love to create, and make an end product that gets a message out that can hopefully and potentially change the world.
Films are a part of our life experiences. Which ones are yours?